Hey guys, rarely do I do like a EDC dump video, basically where you show like every single item that you carry on you all the time. I've done a couple of those over the years that I've been on YouTube, and I don't do them more often than that because my EDC stuff rarely changes. I carried this Gerber pocket knife for years. I mean, probably 10 years I carried this, and I only swapped out because this is one of the spring assisted versions, and Ohio has some like really vague knife laws, and this is one that you can basically just, hit that button, the thumb stud, and you still have to start it, but then once you start it just the littlest bit, it just springs open for you. And even though it's not a full auto, Ohio knife laws are so weird that I didn't ever want to be caught in any type of trouble because of a knife. And then I switched to a Benchmade. This is the mini Griptilian, and I added a deep carry clip. And then I would say for probably the last, I'm gonna guess at least 3 years, something that this has been my EDC. I don't switch out. I'm not a knife connoisseur. So this single knife right here has been in my pocket for at least 3 years, and it's just a regular folder. It's got an axis lock here, but there's nothing like too fancy or special about it, but this has been my EDC knife. Well, I had seen some other people on YouTube and some guys that I follow and stuff always talk about this company right here. It's Kubey, and they're supposedly make really high quality knives. And so I reached out to them and asked if they'd be willing to send me one just to kind of take a look at, and this is what they have sent. They didn't ask me if I requested a certain length or colors, or this is just what they sent. And the model is, let's see, it's KU321F, and they have sent it in green. So figured we'd do an unboxing here, maybe compare it to these two that I have carried for quite some time. Kind of go over all the specs and stuff like that with it. So let's get it out here. So it looks like obviously the knife itself, and then some type of card down here. You can scan that if you want. There's their information. And it actually comes in a sealed package. So let's get that out. All right. So very first thoughts pulling it out of that package is I absolutely love it. I love the green with the black. All of the hardware is black. Pocket clip is black. We'll go over all the specs here in a bit, but the G10 handle feels really, really good in the hand. It is a folding with a liner lock. It's a front flipper, but everything on it feels really, really nice. So the overall length is 7.28 inches. The blade length is 2.99, given the handle length 4.28 inches. The handle thickness is 0.51. The blade thickness this way is 0.98, so almost an inch here, but the blade thickness here is 0.12 inches. The blade is D2 steel. The overall design is a clip point blade on it, and it is like black. They're calling it a stone wash. You can see it's not like perfectly smooth looking. It's supposed to be this way. I absolutely love this. And the grind on it is a flat grind. And like I said earlier, the handle is G10, and it is a liner lock. And so you can see there, we just move that out of the way. And let's look at the centering. Looks absolutely perfect. Equal spacing, really well-made knife. We'll get a quick weight and then compare it to the other ones that I used to carry. 3.2 ounces on the Kubey. We'll see what the old Gerber is. Exactly the same, 3.2. I know the Benchmade's got to be lighter than these. It's smaller and lighter materials. 2.8 ounces. So they all three do have deep carry clips on them. And I do want to point out that the Kubey definitely sticks up higher, like away from the handle. Like there's not much space there on that one. The Gerber sticks up a little bit more, but the Kubey definitely sticks up the highest of those. You can see how much space is in there. Now I don't know if that's going to catch on anything or not. You know, I'll definitely wear this knife for several days before I finish this video and kind of give a report back. But it's significantly higher than what that is. And speaking of that clip, it is reversible, and there's a lanyard hole right there as well. So I don't know if you'll be able to see or hear this on camera, but it's got a real positive detent when opening and closing, but I'll try to let you see it here. You hear that? It basically almost draws it back in. Once it starts getting close here, I kind of give you a different angle. And it just, that last little bit right there, see that? It's almost like a magnet pulling it in. So the handle does have some jimping up on top, and then obviously it's got a thumb hole there. Again, I'm not an expert on these, but so basically you just use that to kind of guide it open. A lot of people do it really fast, and you can use your middle finger here as well on the opposite side. Again, a lot of people flick that open fast, and you can also use your finger up here, up on the top to flip it open. You know, a lot of people do it that way, just. So let's see what kind of cutting edge comes from the factory. These are really thick index cards, thicker than what you'd get at most stores, but we'll see here if it, yeah, that's a pretty clean cut. That was my fault, I just didn't go all the way through it. Let's try it again here. Yeah, those are really nice clean cuts. I'm just not cutting through it all the way. Yeah, that thing is razor sharp. That's really nice. So yeah, I definitely need to carry this around for a couple days and actually use it before I give like my overall impressions and stuff on it. So I've been carrying and using the Kubey for a few days now, mainly for opening up boxes and then cutting those plastic bands off the outside of boxes, stuff like that. And I gotta say, I really like it. I think that I paid somewhere around 30 or 35 bucks for the Gerber, and I think I paid around $85 for the Benchmade. The Kubey kind of comes in the middle, right at $60, and I like it better than the $85 Benchmade. I have extra large hands, and even with that 4.3 inch or whatever it is handle, it fits in my hand pretty well. Like, it feels really solid. I will say that the clip does create a little bit, I don't want to say a hot spot, but you can feel that if you're gripping tight, like if you needed to do like some whittling or whatever. Like, you can kind of feel that a little bit in your palm. And speaking of that clip, it is really, really tight, like the tension on it. I typically wear cargo shorts, and I keep my knife in my front right pocket, the main pocket, and I cannot put this in one-handed. The tension on here is just way too tight. So basically I have to like pull my shorts pocket with one hand and draw it tight, and then slide this in with the second hand. I'm sure that I can actually bend this away and try to take some of the tension away. And it's also extremely difficult to try to slide into a jeans pocket. And there's so much tension that I do feel like, you know, after just so many uses, that it'll start doing a wear spot. So I would probably, if you're wearing jeans mostly, I would probably take this and bend this up this way, just to try to give yourself a little more room in here, because that thing is just like extremely tight. And just that little bit right there already made a difference. I can actually see some space through there now, which I could not before. So I wouldn't go too far, because you do obviously want it to provide, you know, enough tension to hold it in place. But yeah, you can see that there's a little bit of space now, and there was not there before. But if you decide to stretch that like I just did, I would only go a little bit at a time, because basically if you go too far, it's not going to provide enough tension in your pocket. So kind of do that at your own risk. So yeah, wrapping up here, guys, like overall, I'm really impressed, and I really like this knife a lot. The action is super smooth on it. The G10 handles feel really good in the hand. The cutting edge is really awesome on it. Like overall, it's a really solid knife. So I would like to thank Kubey for sending it to me. And I will leave a link to Amazon where you can get it, and also a link to Kubey's website, so you can find out more information if you like to on them. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.